Good morning, y'all. I've been on here talking about deeds and marital property before, but I want to mention one thing that is really important, and that is how married individuals hold property and what the tax consequence of that is. So specifically, when married people hold property, they hold it by default in North Carolina. If both their names are on the deed, they hold it as what's called tenants by the entireties, which is an old antiquated term meaning a married couple owns this property. Now, the benefit of that is, number one, you have creditor protection. So creditors of one spouse can't go after the property. If it's a creditor of both spouses, however, the property is fair game. The other benefit is that it avoids probate between the spouses. So if one of the spouses passes away, it automatically goes to the other spouse, no problem. But what could be one of the tax consequences of holding the property that way? I don't necessarily want to say it's a detriment or a negative, but it's something that you should consider because there may be other ways to hold the property to have a better tax benefit. So let's jump into that. So the tax benefit is that there is a step up in basis for property held by a married couple, but it's only one half, so that could be a benefit or a detriment depending on how you look at it. So there's ways to maximize that and get a full step up in basis in the property, but you can't hold it as tenants by the entirety. So it could be subject to some creditor, one spouse coming in and going after the property. There's also ways to protect against that as well with the use of trust. So you might be asking yourself, okay, what is a step up in basis? What are you talking about? So what a home is a capital asset. And anytime you sell a capital asset, you have capital gains. Very likely you have the possibility of capital gains if you sell it for more than what you either bought it for, or if you got the property from someone else as a gift, what they purchased it for. So if you have a property that you bought for $100,000, your basis is $100,000. If you sell that property for $300,000, you have a gain of $200,000, and you have to pay, the tax on the gain. So 15% capital gains rate means $30,000 worth of tax. That's a lot of tax. You might want to avoid that. So what a step up is if you inherit property by virtue of someone passing away, then you get a step up in the basis. So the basis now in the property that you have is fair market value of the date of that person's death. So if you bought a property for $100,000 and you pass away, you give it to a loved one and they inherit that property and it's now worth $300,000 and they turn around and sell it for $300,000, well, they have no gain because their basis is now $300,000. So the step up in basis is a very, very valuable thing that you want to exploit if you can. If you have questions about capital gains, taxes, anything like that with respect to your property, how to maximize the capital gains benefits of step up in basis, give us a call, 704-259-7040, and sit down with me for an hour for free.